Yes, we are live. Yes, Goddess. Welcome to Goddess Temple. I'm Abiola, and this is your weekly blast of inspiration, motivation, and transformation to set your week off right. If you're wanting to join us live, you can do so 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram at Abiola TV, with a replay afterward on YouTube. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome, Goddess. So nice to meet you. I'm the founder of womanifesting.com and the Goddess of Paris, Miracles and Manifesting Retreat. If you want to come with me to Paris and live in a castle and manifest your desires, go to goddessofparis.com for more info. All right, let's get this beautiful party started. Yes, I see Coach Roz is here. Goddess Giovanna's here. Goddess Melissa is in the house, and Instagram is hard for me to see you, but I do see Goddess Samantha. I see Goddess Georgia. I see Goddess Zurmusic, and Goddess Norma. Oh my goodness. I am so excited right now because for all of you who are coming on the Goddess of Paris Miracles and Manifesting Retreat, I've been arranging roommates. Don't worry. It's not locked in stone. I want to get to know some of you a little bit more. Some of you still have to have your intro calls with me. Sending you hearts, your manifestation partners for the retreat. I'm going to be having a live orientation in about a week and a half. So stay tuned for your email from that. Michaela will email you about that. Yay! All right, Goddess Kim Renee. Hello, Goddess Shanice. Thank you, Goddess Melissa. She says, and I'm going to extend this to all of you goddesses. If no one has told you today, you are amazing. Thank you very much. So I received a question that I thought would be beneficial to all of us as a tribe. And it went something like this. Dear Abiola, dramatization added by me. Dear Abiola, what's the difference between our ancestors, angels, and spirit guides, and how do we connect? So that is what we're going to be talking about today. Does anybody else, like, the warmer it gets and the sunnier it gets, like, this is your time? Like, this is your moment? Like, depending on where you live, but where I live, it is warm May, June, July, my favorite month, August, September. Like, is this your season where you tap in, you wake up, you kind of hibernate the rest of the year and you tune in? Yes, speaking of summer babies and summer energy, Goddess Tia is here. And actually, Goddess Tia is the perfect person for this conversation about angels and spirit guides, because she wrote the book on some of this stuff. This is my sister who we went to the Bahamas a couple of years ago. I was speaking at, she was the founder of the Creativepreneur Summit and Cruise. Goddess Tia Johnson. Get her books, get her stuff, get your life. Let's get started. Yes. All right. So let's, of course, begin with gratitude. We want to bring it all in, bring it all down, bring it all up. Hold hands with each other and stretch across this globe. And just feel and tune into the energy of our global sisterhood. Tune into the divine source energy of love. Feel yourself in the womb of creation and know that you are safe. And it is safe to be safe. And as we tune into this sacred, divine, highest vibration that there is, we begin, of course, with gratitude. Gratitude. And we say, Mother, Father, God, thank you so very much for bringing us here together on this beautiful Sunday. Thank you so much for connecting us with our global sisterhood, our humanhood across the globe. Thank you for giving us the gift of another day of life. Thank you for giving us breath. Thank you for giving us health and the health and well-being to be able to participate in this conversation. Thank you so very, very, very much for giving us the wealth and abundance to be able to have a device to tune in and connect with our sisters around the globe. We are so very grateful, and we ask you to continue to keep us, to guide us. And I always ask, and I ask you now, to guide me, to guide my words, to guide my actions. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? In your name, we are here. Amen. Ashe. And so it is. All right. Hey, women, are we ready to begin? Yes, 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 yes. I see the goddesses in the house talking about summertime. Goddess Kim Renee says, yes, I come alive. Me too. Me too. And I was talking to my sister about this the other day, how it just seems like people are prettier. Like I'm looking at people, you know, on the subway in New York City during wintertime. People look kind of grimy, but during summer, it's like supermodel, like everybody's gorgeous. So I'm so excited that you're here. Goddess Tatiana says, so excited to be here live. I've been listening to the podcast for about a month. Love this tribe. Hello, Goddess Tatiana. We're so glad that you are here live. So the conversation today, Goddess Tatiana, you came to the right place, right time. I don't know if you're the one that asked this question, someone with a similar name to you. I don't recall. But the question was, what is the difference between angels and ancestors and spirit guides, and how do we connect? Thank you for the hearts, Facebook. Thank you for the hearts. So I love this conversation. Love, love, love this conversation, because I think that, you know, you will find, you know, there are some constants, some things that I'm going to share in the way that I interpret this to be. But I think that there are as many answers as there are traditions. And angels, you know, and ancestors and spirit guides are a part of our spirit family. You know, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we tend to think of it the other way around, right? We think, all right, I'm a human being with glimpses of magic, glimpses of spirit throughout my life, but it's the other way around. You are this divine, magical, spiritual, perfect being put here for a purpose at this moment in time. All of us chose to incarnate together and hold hands together and come forth together at just this very moment for just such a purpose that you may know or may not know or may change and unfold at different times in your life. And the beautiful thing is that, you know, although we are walking solo in this journey, you are not walking alone. I'm going to say that again. Although you are walking solo in this journey, you are not walking alone. Okay. And for those who are, you know, intuitives, people who are either clairvoyant, meaning that they're able to see spirit, or clairaudient, meaning that they're able to hear, or clairsentient, meaning that they're able to feel, that they are people who are intuitive, find it easier to just connect and dance between realms, right? This is a fifth dimension conversation, by the way. If you're over there in the third dimension or the fourth dimension, time to level up. We are having a fifth dimension conversation. Put it in the comments. This is a fifth dimension conversation, so that when folks come back and watch the replay, they know this is a level up conversation, right? So we are here with our guides, and those guides can be, you know, are absolutely angels, which depending on the tradition, you know, certain traditions are very, very specific in, you know, for example, in the Muslim tradition, in Islam, they believe that you have two angels, and one age is on your shoulders, and they're there for you for your life, which I think is beautiful and divine. And in Christianity, you're given access to unlimited angels, and it changes and shifts depending on the tradition. But again, there's no tradition that says that you are here by yourself. And then there are our ancestors, those who have transitioned, those who we have known, those who we don't know. And an ancestor can be someone who is younger than you, who has transitioned, right? It could be, you know, any relative that you have, blood or claimed, a blood or claimed ancestor that you have who is a part of your ancestral host, your ancestral spirit guides. And, we feel, our ancestors oftentimes, for me anyway, I'll speak for myself, most strongly because we are connected to them we've been connected to them in a physical way. And so when people say to you, and the thought of this always, brings tears to my eyes, that your great grandmother's prayers are still protecting you today, it's not only the prayers that a great grandmother or great grandfather or great going back may have had for you before they knew who you were, or before they knew who your parents were, that are protecting you, the prayers that they prayed back then, but the prayers and intentions that they have for you right now, the way that they are here guiding and keeping you, and the way that their hands are interacting with our lives on a daily basis. Now, you may look at certain things in your life and you may be like, but Abiola, like, if I'm being protected by angels and ancestors, then why did all of this happen? Well, girl, do we know what could have happened? Right? Do we know what could have happened? You have breath. And so that means that your purpose is still not fulfilled. It means that you're still here. I remember I think it was when I was in college, maybe, and my mom is in the audience, so she can correct me if it wasn't, when my brother had a car accident. And it was shortly after my grandfather had passed away. Both of my grandparents on my mother's side died when I was in college, right behind each other. That's a totally different story. To make a long story short, my grandfather, when he died, nothing was wrong with him, really. He died of a broken heart when my grandmother transitioned. And so shortly after that, my brother had a car accident that I still haven't really spoken about because, my family, probably like yours, we don't speak about those things, right? My brother had a car accident that was so horrible that it was on the news. It was on the news. This Mack truck hit him. And it was shortly after my grandfather had died, and everyone kept saying, like, boy, you must have some angels. That boy has some angels. He has some angels around him. And in my family, we knew exactly what it was. Like, it wasn't a question that, grandfather, like, had his back in that moment. And the beautiful thing is that when we are here, we have free will. Put that in the comments. I have free will. And so the reason why we may be looking at certain things like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Why didn't anybody hook me up? Angels, why'd you hook me up? Well, did you ask? Did you ask for help? Did you ask for guidance on that? You have free will. You have free will. Goddess Janae says, I love that. Yes, somebody prayed for me. Say that. We have no idea what their prayers have kept us from. Yes. Goddess Melissa says, my grandmother and great-grandmother watch over me all the time, and I'm so grateful for their wisdom. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And why? Yes, Goddess Kim Renee, because this is a fifth dimension conversation. Fifth dimension conversation. And so likewise, we should be sending out, and if the word prayer makes you uncomfortable, you can think of it as sending an intention. We should be intending for the generations that come after us. We should be intending for, if you have children, if you don't have children, your nieces, your nephews, for them and their children and their children's children, and those who, may never know your name. We should be intending for them. So that right now, in another dimension, in another energy, in another space, our energy, our prayers, our intentions are protecting and keeping and guiding and watching over them. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And then what are our spirit guides? So our spirit guides, like I said, you can have claimed ancestors, people that you are not blood relations. Like, you cannot tell me that Miss Josephine Baker and Miss Harriet Tubman are not my ancestors. They are my claimed ancestors, and I feel soul close to them. Not so close, but soul close to them. They are my soul family. They are my spirit family. They are my spirit guides. Or you can have people who, you knew, who maybe again are not blood related to you, maybe you knew growing up, or who knew of you or knew your family, or any sort of connection, or they could just not be connected to you, have been connected to you physically in a way that you are able to understand at all. Because again, it's our interpretation. Another question that another goddess had is that why are all angels male? And I think that with our human understanding, we're able to interpret and understand gender in a certain way, but it's our human, there are a lot of things that are put in a way for us, I don't want to say dumbed down for us, but put in a way for us that we're able to understand with our human understanding. Right? We don't know that, that there is any gender in the spiritual realm, or personality within the spiritual realm, or that people maybe, that spirits are maybe able to choose, the way that they express themselves to us in this realm. Goddess Janae says, I have to practice patience in waiting and trusting them. Sometimes the guidance has come, but I choose free will to go ahead of the wisdom that was shared with me. Yes, we all have done that. We say, if only there was a sign. Somebody show me a sign. Right? No, not that sign. Another one. I didn't like that sign. Is there another sign that you have? Because that one didn't work for me, right? We absolutely all do that. We all do that. And then there are people who can channel, people who are able to channel spirits. And, on the first glance, like that may sound scary and terrifying. But the majority of us, people who grew up in or have been to, different Baptist or Pentecostal tradition churches have seen people speaking in tongues. What do we think they're doing? They are channeling. They're channeling. You've seen people speaking in tongues. You have seen people channeling spirit. There are some people who can sit down and channel and then interpret that rather, not just in tongues, but take it into words and take it into guidance and be able to help us and share with us. Some people like Abraham Hicks at this moment is, one of the most famous. So there are different ways and different gifts that we all have to interpret our spiritual guidance. And so if we are wanting to connect, let's get into, if we're wanting to connect, how we do that. All right? If you are not, necessarily, you haven't attuned into your skills to be clairvoyant or clairaudient or clairsentient, or to be able to channel and download, here's some other ways to be able to connect. I love this conversation. Why? This is a fifth dimension conversation. Yes. So number one is you want to get your energy channels clear. Get your energy channels clear. And you can do that by grounding yourself, by raising your vibration, by clearing out, things that are immediately holding you back. We are in energetic communication with everything in our environment physically and everything that is in our environment emotionally. So things like, unspoken conversations, things like debt, things like, unexpressed feelings. These are all things that we are in energetic conversation with. Thank you for the hearts, Facebook. These are things that we're all in energetic conversation and communion with all the time. And so if you are attuned to, okay, I forgot I have to have this conversation with this person, and I have to pay the water bill, and I got to cuss that one out because I forgot, I didn't like the way they spoke to me the other day. And you have like all of this stuff going on, and I have to clear out the clutter, that's in the basement or whatever. You have all of those things going on. That's not a clear channel. Right? Writing on your agenda, on your to-do list. Cuss Larry out at 5 o'clock for what happened last week. Like, you don't have a clear channel. Because the beautiful thing is that you can just be in conversation. I think the easiest way for any of us to start is just by starting. Just by starting to just be in clear conversation all the time with your guides. Just be in conversation, be in prayer, be in meditation, but also, again, just being in conversation. feeling their energy, feeling into their energy, setting a place for them at the table on their birthday, acknowledging them, you know, at moments, you know, where you think of them. All of those kinds of things, playing their favorite music if it's an ancestor, you know, just things that keep your energy, you know, grounding yourself. Again, one of the fastest ways to ground yourself is walk barefoot in nature, clearing your channel and being willing. Affirm that. Put it in the comments. I am willing. Goddess Melissa says, I have always talked to angels and heaven. My dad did also. Beautiful. Yes. I'm just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes. So having clear channels, being willing, we're going to affirm, I am willing. Willingness is a superpower, being willing. If you're coming to your angels, to your ancestors, to your spirit guides with closed energy and skeptical energy, and you're like, all right, prove something to me, impress me. No. Nobody in the earth plane or any other has to prove anything to you. So that is not the energy. That's not clear channel energy. Okay? That is not clear channel energy at all. All right? So number 2, open your heart. Open your heart. That's what I mean when I say be willing, that your heart chakra is like, okay, make it an exciting thing. Like, okay, I'm going to connect. I'm excited about connecting, looking forward to hearing what I hear, and coming from a place of love rather than a place of fear or skepticism or impress me or anything like that. Okay? Number 3, the most powerful, because we have free will. Invite them. Invite them to help you, invite them to guide you. You can invite in, you know, an angel. You can say, angels, please help. You know, I say that all the time. You can say it for the simple and the mundane, like you've lost something and you're trying to find something, or, you know, help with your child or your pet or whatever. You can say, angels, please help me, or ancestors help me, or spirit guides help me. You can just ask. Just ask, just invite them in, invite their guidance, invite their assistance, invite their help. Like, how amazing, like how awesome are you that you are so thought of, that you not only have, you know, been here, incarnated here at this moment and given breath by the highest divine source in the universe, but that you also have, you know, a spirit gang with you that has your back. That's like, yes, let's roll. That's your real ride or die. You want ride or die? You got it. You got it. And so open your heart. Number 3, inviting them to introduce themselves. You can even say, for those of you who are, there's some people who I know, like, want to know very specifically, like, I want to know, you know, what the names are of my guides, or, you know, that sort of thing. If that is of importance to you, you can invite them to introduce themselves if that matters to you. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. You know, there's some people like me that are like, I'm good, I'm guided, I trust it, I'm in. And, you know, I know the names of my ancestral guides who are protecting me, and that for me is enough. But there's nothing wrong with, if you are wanting to know more specifically the names of, you know, other guides that you may have, so you can invite them to introduce themselves. And the way that you do that is number 4, you can ask for a sign. Ask for a sign. And again, this isn't from a place of prove it to me. This is a place of, you know, I would like a sign. I'm looking for a sign. Come from love, the power of intention. Come from love. And a sign can be a number, right? It can be a number, like, you know, let me see your birthday if it's someone that you know, or, you know, you can ask for a sign in the form of a color. Right? This is purple. It shows blue on Facebook, but purple is a color of connection. You can ask for a specific color. You can ask for a connection in a dream. My family all are tremendous dreamers, absolutely tremendous dreamers. So you can ask for them to come to you in a dream. You can ask for them to come to you in a way that is familiar to you. Familiar, which has in it family, and in certain traditions also a familiar is known as a spirit. Or you can ask for a sign related to a specific token that means something to you or your family group. Goddess Rose says, yes, my vibe has been low. I really needed to hear this. Ah, well, I'm so glad that you are here, Goddess Rose. How beautiful and divine, the rose that grew from concrete. But I don't know where you're from. You could be a rose that grew from the country, and either way, all roses are beautiful. Glad you're here. Okay, so ask for a sign. And then number 5, you can record and observe, start to write down. You can do free writing, what it is that you are seeing, what it is that you're interpreting, the messages that you're getting. The messages may come through people who you have no idea. When you are somewhere, you could be at a bus stop, in a grocery line, whatever. And if you're a person like me, who sometimes is a chatty Cathy and gets into conversations with random people, that could be that you're being guided at that moment to tell them something that they needed to hear, that their guides are speaking through you. And you just needed, so if you're feeling very compelled, like, okay, I feel like I want to, sometimes, those of us who are, again, chatty Cathys, they feel like, okay, I feel like I need to say something to this person, but it may seem like it's a lot. Maybe you're being guided to say it to them. So it's okay. It's all right. And it's okay if they walk away and think, okay, that lady was strange. It's okay. And they may get it later. They may never get it. But your part in the chain of evolution is to share whatever it is that you're being guided to share with them. Okay. So number 5 was record and observe. You can write it down, whatever it is. Number 6 is you can use various assistance tools to be able to interpret. So for example, something that we do all the time right here is, with affirmation cards. We use the Woman Manifesting Goddess Affirmation deck here, but whatever decks may float your boat. I have many different decks that I use at different times. And what we're doing when we pick a card is that we are specifically, and of course, I did not shuffle or do anything with these cards, but of course the card is Oshun, Orisha, Oshun. These cards are what you're doing when you use oracle cards or tarot or, any kind of where you're shuffling and then reading a card, is that you're interpreting guidance. It's being put into a form that we can interpret and read it. That's what spiritual readings are. You can have a person who can read very clearly on you. Like, for example, everyone who's coming to the Goddess of Paris Miracles Manifesting Retreat, we're doing aura readings, right? And an aura reading is someone reading and interpreting your spiritual vibration and energy. Spiritual vibration and energy. Other things that you can use is that you can use crystals, like this is amethyst. You can use various crystals to be able to help you to connect with your energy. You can use, you can use totems, things that mean something to you. So this is a piece of my ancestral home in Guyana that my mom's cousin Arlington cut off for me to give to me. You can use different things like that. You can use, you can use crystal pendulums, which are really, really beautiful for helping you to be able to connect. I'll do a different video about that. You can take your favorite spiritual book, whether it is the Bible or the Quran or, the Torah, which is the Old Testament in the Bible, or, the I Ching, and you can just open it and get guidance that way. That is exactly the same thing as using a form of oracle cards, taking the guidance and interpreting it. Again, what works for you and is very personal to you. And someone else cannot tell you the way that works for you. They can say what works for them, but if there's someone who says this is the only way and the way that you're doing it is wrong, they cannot speak for you and the relationship that you are having with your guides, with your spirit family. Okay? And so you can say, thank you for sharing, and do what you're being taught and told and shared with that your next move can be. You can use sound healing. So it can be something like, you can use popular music, which I love to use, from Beyonce to Lady Gaga, or you can use sound through using Tibetan singing bowls or drumming, which is the soul, the heartbeat. You know, get yourself a djembe, which is an African drum, and just drum it out. Oh my goodness, my niece Ava, from the time where she could barely, you know, walk, she like just has it in her to be able to drum. That is spirit right there. That's spirit. So spirit speaks to us in all kinds of miraculous and beautiful ways. And it's our job to tune in, to hear it, to feel it, to interpret it, to get the guidance that we need from it. So the most beautiful and powerful part of this conversation in terms of connecting with your angels, your ancestors, and your spirit guides is that you're already doing it. You're already doing it. Now you just want to do it purposefully, but you're already doing it. They've already been guiding you. They've already been having your back. They are right here all around in this conversation, all up in and through and around this conversation. They are in the way that you show up in the world. They are in the way that you may have ideas and things that are coming to you. This is your time. You've been chosen and selected, and only good things are ahead of you. Your best days are not behind you. Your best days are ahead of you. And how amazing that you have guidance. How special that you have guidance. How magical that your back is got. Yes, do you receive that today, my beauty? Yes, your back is had. Your back is had. You're looking for a ride or die. You already have it. I look forward to continuing this juicy conversation with you. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. Hit the share button if you didn't already. And if you're looking for more information about the Goddess of Paris Miracles and Manifesting Retreat, find it all at goddessofparis.com. Goddessofparis.com. Yes! Yay! Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Amen. Ashe, and so it is. Amen. Namaste, Goddess. The Goddess in me sees, adores, and accepts the sacred Goddess in you. Bye. Hit the share button, Facebook.